Hey there, how is everybody doing? Happy holidays. I hope everyone is recovering from your social activities last week and tomorrow as well. So, I am here to host a chat with Eric Small. He is an autistic singer, podcaster, and storyteller, and he has a huge project that he needs some support, so he wants to come in here and chat with me. My name is Macy, by the way. I'm the one moderating this account and also the founder of Autism Career Pathways. So I love this part of my job, which is to help autistic people, autistic neurodivergent people tell their stories and use this platform. And this is where we come together once in a while and just listen to each other's journey and share our stories. So I'm really, really grateful that we have this platform to share together. So let me find Eric. Hang on, Eric.
Hi,
Okay, you're live.
here we
You
go.
did.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did it.
so my name is Macy. So this is the first time that we've actually see each other face to face. So
Yeah,
so please
yeah.
tell us. I'll give you the stage to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your journey as a late diagnosed autistic adult. So go.
Yeah. So, my name is Eric. I'm 38, and I was diagnosed last year with autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, OCD, and binge eating disorder. So it was kind of like
A rainbow of
you
different
know,
things,
a
which
lot
is
of,
what I have as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah. Um, and I struggled with that diagnosis for a long time. Sort of, I guess I felt like the diagnosis defined me, and I really wanted to figure out what my personality was because it started to feel like I didn't have a
Mhm.
personality, that it was all
So
symptoms.
what prompted you
There,
to finally seek a diagnosis? I know part of it is just finding a clinician who could diagnose us properly, So like,
mhm.
did people tell you that, oh, maybe you should seek professional help and so on?
My ex-partner actually was the one who encouraged me to meet with a therapist, and I just happened to get a really good therapist who sort of spotted it and wanted me to go
Hmm.
through the diagnosis process. Um, so very grateful to her for that. But yeah, it just kind of floored me a little bit, and I actually had to be um, go into an
Hmm.
institution for a little bit just to learn how to deal with it and things like that. And um, so yeah, I guess my goal now is just I just want to help other people sort of recognize these things, seek diagnosis, provide resources, things like that. Because I know now how it's presented challenges in my life
Hmm.
for me. And I never thought even for a moment like that, oh, you might be autistic or you might have ADHD,
Hmm.
or that never
Hmm.
crossed my mind. So, um, and I think that's a boat that a lot
Yes,
of people
that's
are in,
true.
honestly.
And now that you have these just different diagnosis, how has that changed you um, as a person in terms of navigating your life, day-to-day life?
I think the biggest thing that it's done is given me some understanding, and that's led to me giving myself some compassion, um, some leniency, and just understanding that, hey, this is something you have to deal with. Um, and then, learning strategies, things that work for me that I never considered before because, I didn't have this diagnosis. So that's been really helpful, is just
Yes.
learning who I am again, and
Yeah.
with the diagnosis.
Well,
So,
I,
yeah.
as another late diagnosed autistic person, I want to welcome you in the community, autistic community. I think I found like peace learning from other autistic people who were ahead of me. It was like unlayering myself. Like it's a process.
Yeah.
Even at my age, you know, it's never too late to rediscover, um, and just maybe creating a new pathway for yourself as the true you, which is what you're trying to do. So I am guessing your special interest or passion is in singing and maybe playing some instruments. Can you tell us about your specialized interests?
Yeah. So I've always done music my whole life. I started out singing like a lot of people in the South.
Mm.
I started out singing in church,
Yeah.
and then with
Yeah.
brothers and sisters in the car. Um, but it was always something that I sort of kept to myself. Um, I didn't like to sing publicly or
Right.
anything like that. It took me a long time to get over that. Guitar was actually, I picked up guitar to give me a buffer between
Okay.
performing and the audience. I felt if there was a guitar between us, I was somewhat
It is really
hidden,
hard though
I
to
guess.
sing and
Um,
play guitar. I mean, you do that. I think you did.
yeah, yeah.
You do beautiful. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was that's how my learning to play an instrument started, was just to give myself something to concentrate on,
Yeah.
so I didn't think too much about the fact that I was performing. So
And
um,
and
yeah,
that's really great. And then you told me that you have a big project. So maybe you can tell us about your project, and this is a really huge undertaking that you're trying to put together and how the community can help you.
yeah. So my project on its face is pretty simple. I've played professionally. I've played out live, but I never recorded anything, which is odd. A lot of people do that now. But I want to sort of share my journey as I go through the process of
Mhm.
recording an album and trying to play live and getting back into music. Um, and my goal here is I want other people who are neurodivergent to see
Mhm.
sort of my process, to see what I struggle with, what I excel at, and to
Yeah.
know that they have a community where they can,
Mhm.
learn about it, and then tackle those big goals themselves. Because one of the beautiful things I've realized about autism is we all have that incredible special interest, and I think
Mhm.
sometimes we're either shamed for it, or we're embarrassed of it, or we hide it from other people. And I just want people, it's such a
Yeah.
great artistic community
Mhm.
that's untapped, really. Um, and I want to encourage people to take on those big goals too. And so I want to create this podcast and video series where they can learn with me, grow with me,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
find each other as well. I'm looking,
Yeah.
I want to interview, collaborate,
Yeah.
uh, shine a light
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
a really,
So
really great goal. You know, and not everyone um, was born with a natural, like raw talent, right? I wish I can sing. I can't. Or dance. I can't, you know, I have two left feet. But I want to tell you, I
I can't.
posted your little video, singing and playing guitar video on Facebook, and it caught uh, a parent of an autistic, I think 10-year-old wrote a comment, and she said that I have put together a Facebook close group for young autistic, aspiring young autistic musicians. So I just want to tell you that just that little video, uh, you know, so I think that's incredible, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And as someone,
Mhm.
I actually taught music for a while. I taught guitar, and I
Yeah.
loved working with kids and helping them, um,
Absolutely.
learn and
Yeah.
really develop
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
appreciation.
We'll
So that means a
definitely
lot.
have to talk
Yeah,
more because I mean, Autism for
yeah,
Pathways, we're building a platform to well, one, educate the community so they can create more
Hmm.
belongings for neurodivergent people in general, but also to connect
Hmm.
autistic mentors with different kinds of interests, such as yourself, to autistic
Oh,
youth. So they don't have to go through the process of who am I and what am I good at, you know, which pathways I can create, because they're going to learn it firsthand from people like us. You know, it gives a platform for autistic
yeah,
adults to really work hard as autistic role models, you know, and to change the view of how autism is viewed in the world, you know. So that's what, well, that's in my head. Right, that's my dream anyways, but I think
yeah,
it's a dream that many of
yeah.
us shared, right?
Well, I think that's such a beautiful idea because, you know, we do have an understanding of some of the difficulties when it comes to learning, and that gives us an edge in helping
Right.
them
Right.
realize their
Yeah. Yeah.
potential.
So
So
we
yeah,
definitely
love
have to
that idea.
talk.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you ready to do your performance, whatever you prepare?
Yeah, so I actually am just going to sing, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how I kind of learned to sing really quick, and then I'll. So, you know, one of the first m- types of music that I really loved
Mhm.
was old soul music. I had a record player in my room when I was a kid, and I remember, we had these records laying around, but we had an Otis Redding record, and I just remember slowing down the track so that I could um, get all of the little notes and runs and everything right. And of course, I'm in my room doing this and thinking, well, no one can hear me, but I'm sure
Yeah.
they heard me
Yeah.
do it, restart it 20 times, 30 times to get it right. But what I love about that music is there's just this incredible tension in his voice. And so um, when I listen to it, it just kind of um, allowed me to learn how to
Mhm.
express myself a little bit through music. Um, so I like sitting in the morning sun. I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in. Then I watch them roll away again. Oh, just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. So you like the way he sort of holds those phrases in his mouth, and like and then there's of course that great bridge where he's like, um looks like nothing's gonna change, everything just remains the
Beautiful.
same. So everything just remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. And I really just love that sort of soulful quality that his voice
Me
had and telling the
too. Yeah.
story.
You
So,
have a really beautiful voice. I'm sure people have
oh,
told you that,
oh, thank
but
you.
uh, I love it. So, did you have another song that you were gonna sing? Mhm.
You know, I
Go ahead.
I wanted to talk about sort of one
Mhm.
of the other things I love about music, and I think for me this is where music and
Mhm.
autism come together. So, um, I have
Mhm.
pretty extreme anxiety. Uh, um, I sort of live without resolve, and music calms me because music has this tension to it, but it also has this incredible resolve. And I've always really loved how, I'm sure other autistic people find this too. Uh, we're intuitive when it comes to where the music is going, and you can just
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
wait for it and feel it wash over. Hits that. Um, so yeah, I think too, like,
Yeah.
and I listen to all kinds of music. I
Yeah.
think every music, um, but I find these threads from where I started to where I'm coming from. So
Mm-hmm.
there's an artist, Frank Ocean, that I really love, and there's this connective thread between that old stuff that I used to listen to and the way he performs as well. So it's like he has this bridge to this song that goes, yes, of course, I remember, how could I forget how you feel? You know you were my first time, a new feel. It will never get old, not in my soul, not if my spirit keep it alive. We'll go down this road till it turns from color to black and white. And then I also love the sort of different kind of tension that comes
Yeah.
in, like crooner music and things like that. Um, so when I build up the courage to go do karaoke or something, uh, I'll often sing someday when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the
I
way
love
you look
that song.
tonight. And I love how that song, yeah, and I love how it builds up and up and up and up, and then you have that note that just holds. And that's the sort of thing that I mean, like
Yeah.
that resolve that just
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
me feel
Yeah.
calm. And
Well, thank
yeah,
you so much. That
so.
was incredible to actually break it down, to
Oh,
really share with our audience like how it actually feels. But I think you're right. I think music has that rhythmic undertones, and it's very, very soothing because you can repeat it, you can add variations that feels you up, and it makes sense to us autistic people because we have full control over it. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it sort of, you know, my mind is very busy,
Very much.
and I know that's a common trait, and it sort of it occupies a part of your mind that allows you
Right.
to think more clearly,
Mhm.
express yourself, feel,
Right.
even express yourself to
Right.
yourself,
Correct.
which is something that I
Correct.
struggle with.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a
so yeah.
way, I think, for us to connect our mind with our body, and it help us to be
Mhm.
to feel more in sync. I suppose I think dance for autistic people who are dancers are like this too, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what's the nuts and bolts why of the why we love
Right.
singing and dancing as a really personalized self-regulation way, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Right.
like you said, it's a good way to connect with yourself. And it does
Hmm.
often feel that
Hmm.
we're disconnected, that we live
Yeah,
inside our heads.
I
So,
I want to share
um,
with you because I work with
around-
autistic people of all ages, but how I started was that I started working with autistic kids, and I worked with many autistic
Mhm.
people who are more impacted with their autism conditions, including non-speaking,
Mhm.
like young people. And it's very unfortunate that it's automatically assumed if you cannot speak verbally that you cannot, music is not your thing. Where actually
Yeah.
I have a almost 7-year old who learned to play the piano this summer, just over 2 months. And I saw him doing his piano recital. It's incredible. Just the smile on his face,
Oh yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so I just want to, I'm sure you have the same message for parents of autistic kids who are uh, using different pathways to communicate, is music might be the window.
Yeah. No, it it really does. It offers a form of expression that's so pure, that uh, it just it touches
Correct.
on a very human part of each of us,
Right.
autistic or not autistic. It really does, and so
Right. Right.
it's a great avenue
Yeah,
to
that's
explore.
that's so
Sure.
great. So I when I'm done with this recording, I'm gonna write a caption and publish it, and you can share it on your end. And I'm also gonna put the Facebook group link to these little autistic musicians. So you should join that group.
Yeah,
And I would
absolutely.
love it for my nonprofit and you if we do host an autistic-led online class. We would like to do one on music for that theme.
Yeah,
We'll have you come in and teach, and it would be a paid opportunity. That's our thing. It's like we
I would
always
love
do
that. Yeah,
fundraising so that we can hire autistic people, autistic mentor, to provide guidance to parents, and because it's really, really important. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
So
I would love
why
to do
don't you
that.
tell
So.
us how people can find you? And you have set up a GoFundMe to kickstart building this platform. Why don't you tell us a little bit more
Mhm.
about that and what you plan to use the funding for?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram at OMLC Pod. Um, that's that's my handle. I am working on a website, um, and I hope to have that live soon. The link will be on my Instagram page, and you can read about the project. Um, but the funding will go to. I want this to be, because autistic people especially respond to images, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, media in that way. So I want it to be a high quality uh, broadcast, and I want to be able to do it regularly, because there's also that routine, right? I want to be able
Mm-hmm.
to keep that routine up. Um, so yeah, it would go towards. So I actually, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of having a rough time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even have any instruments anymore. So I kind of got
Yeah.
away from music, and I'm trying to find my way back in. So yeah, it would go
Mm-hmm.
towards that, supplies, the recording of the album, and then a lot of it would go to. I really do
Yeah.
want to put together this community. That's so important to me, because I have I have allowed my diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
and my lack of diagnosis for a long time to
Yeah.
um,
Right.
define me, and I've made mistakes. And I want other people who are struggling with this,
Mm-hmm.
whether they know they're struggling with it or not, uh, to have that sort of
Mm-hmm.
guiding hand that I never did.
Yeah.
Understand it sooner, to
Right.
seek out diagnosis, to get help. Um, and I don't, obviously don't
Mm-hmm.
begrudge my experience, but of course we
Yeah.
all wish we would have known
Yes.
sooner, right? I mean, um, but it doesn't mean that I
Sure.
can't, from this point forward, um,
Absolutely.
do something
Yeah.
meaningful and
Yeah.
to the community. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Thank you
so
for
important to
sharing
me.
that. And it's such a great project. I really wish you luck to be able to do it. Maybe you do it in small pieces, but you're going to keep moving forward to it.
Yeah,
Please, keep me updated. Just keep tagging me, updates. Does anybody have
will
any
do.
questions before I let Eric Small go? I think it's Bridget Rocks, and they commented, I actually have autism too. I love singing and dancing, and this is a great life. Thank you. Does anybody else
Oh,
have any questions? No? Okay. Well, if you do have any questions, you can write it down once I publish this recording. So thank you. Hello. So if you have any other questions, just put your question in the discussion thread once I publish this recording. Thank you, everyone. And I wish you all very happy or peaceful, not too crazy New Year's Eve. And here's to next year, 2023. I'm so ready for it. I don't know about you, Eric. Right? so
I
so
am.
so I will definitely talk to you, keep in touch with you, and we'll see you at another Instagram live. Bye.